Alright, so I wanted to make this video. A lot of people ask me why am I switching from Milwaukee and going to DeWalt. And a lot of people get caught up on the brands. They say, oh, well, Milwaukee has this and DeWalt is only rated for this. And they get fixated on who can drive the screw the fastest, or who can cut the lumber the fastest, or whatever the tool is capable of. But I just wanted to make a couple of points on it doesn't really matter what tool brand you buy. What really matters is what fits best in your hand, or what do you enjoy reaching for the most, because you're using these tools on a daily basis. A lot of people to make their living, like myself. I was in the field doing electrical for right around probably about 11 years before I do what I do now. And I've used them all. I've used Makita, I've used Milwaukee. Never really got into DeWalt, which is why I'm here to talk to you about why I'm switching to DeWalt, because I've got almost every M18 and M12 tool that you can buy, or at least I've had it before my van got broken into. And I've used just about every tool they have on the market that's available mainstream. I'm not talking about the crimpers or the cable splicers or anything like that. Just Sawzall, drills, bandsaws, vacuums, multi-tools, the oscillating ones, just all the different kinds of tools I've used, and multiple times a day reached for a certain tool. And a lot of people get caught up on just that certain brand, and they fixate on, well, I like yellow, or well, I like red. And I've got, even in the shop now, I've still got some Makitas, and I've only got one drill from Makita, but I really enjoy using it. So I had that extra charger, and I got that extra battery. Now, when you're in the field, it's nice to have one system. I fully understand that. But in most cases, most tool brands aren't just a jack of all brands. I mean, you're not going to get the best everything out of one brand. And that's what I was going to more or less talk to you guys about. I'm switching to DeWalt. I do woodwork now. I no longer work in the field as an electrician. And I thought I would just kind of explain what my thoughts are and how I came to this decision after being in the field for 11 plus years, turning tools, and just my experiences with different brands and things, and even generally how the market goes. So yeah, first thing I'd like to point out here, this is a Milwaukee M12. It's got 1,300 inch-pounds of torque. This is what you would say the best impact, quarter-inch impact for screwing or lags, whatever you're doing on the market. It's light. It has a pod-style battery. I even spent the extra money on the boot to protect it. It's been a really good tool. I don't really have any complaints about it. The only one complaint is that it's just big. That the battery goes inside of the tool. Yeah, so the battery has to fit in this hole, which is going to make the grasp bigger. Now they've tried to cut down and make it thinner in the parts where it matters. But at the end of the day, this button here because they've slimmed down the tool here and here. These buttons stick out and they rub the top of your fingers along there. And while they're the fastest, by a couple of seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, then, the yellow tools, that doesn't make them the best. What you want to reach for to do your task, essentially makes it the best tool. What do you prefer to use? I didn't really get that at first. I was always fixated on the brand, what it was. And for you in the field, it might not matter to you. I didn't even really feel pain when I was doing a task. I didn't even realize when I was pushing myself to the limits when I was working. And, now I'm getting older and I can feel, maybe I should have taken it down a notch doing certain things. You just get the task done and you really don't think about what your pain is while you're doing it, or how uncomfortable it is in this position, or how this is digging into your skin, or maybe you're bleeding because of it, but you're holding something while you're working on something else and you don't want to let it go, and you're putting indentions in your fingers or whatever you're doing. But looking back, if I had a choice to do it all over again, I would have multiple different brands in my toolbox at the end of the day. It's all about comfort and what do you enjoy using. Now this, if you ask me, see the battery goes up here and not by your hand. And it makes this thing a joy to use. It's light, it's fast. I've probably done at least 10,000 holes with this thing, not even joking. And I've probably driven about 30,000 Tapcons. I mean, no joke. This thing's done at least 10,000 of those holes, though. And you can look at when this thing came out. It's not that old. But this thing barely even hammers anymore. It's been through so much abuse. But it got me through the whole last 7 years of my career. Just about. Maybe 5 years of my career. Using this thing every day as an electrician. You're driving concrete anchors, or you're going to the company and you're getting their tool. At least nowadays, now they give you battery tooling, you don't have to pay for nothing. But back then, it was all corded. Everything was corded. You worked off that spider box or that temporary pole. You ran at least 100 feet of cord to do whatever you're doing. And I told myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be more efficient. Not just for the company, for yourself. A lot of people don't realize, but when you're doing work for a company, the company is paying you, and you're almost your own product. You need to sell yourself. How do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to be the last guy on the job site that they hold to finish the job? Or are you going to be the first guy to get off that job site? We won't get into that, but I was never the first guy to get off a job site. I was always there to all the end of all the jobs. But yeah, it just depends on what do you want to do. Back to the whole tool thing, though. This thing is a joy to hold. I would buy another one of these, even though I'm switching to DeWalt over here. This is one of those tools that I would still have that extra charger, have that extra battery, and it wouldn't matter. This is the best thing for the job. There's nothing better, in my opinion. That's just the way it is. This thing here, I mean, you can just see how much thinner it is. The battery's down here. You don't have to worry about a battery going inside of that handle. And making that tool that much thicker, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous design. Some people just need to swallow their pride and admit when they got a bad design. This was the best idea they ever had. Put the battery here. Redistribute the weight. Make the handle great to hold. This thing will probably fit in my cargo pocket. This thing is awesome. If you don't have one of these, you're really missing out. This thing will drill through 6-inch concrete a half-inch bit if you're trying to lay out cores on a job site. And you got to go just drill a hole, just a pilot hole, to see where you're going to be at. Make sure you're not hitting any beams or whatever you're doing, man. This thing is awesome. This will do everything you need it to do. And anything more you need to do, you're either going to hire out or you're going to be doing a bunch of holes, and you're going to want to get the proper tool for the job.